Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals to episode 384 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, joined this week by Mr. Daff and Moody.
Howdly doodly do, it's Friday, you know what that means. It's video game day. We haven't moved the date this time like last year.
No, we did. Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah,
last year we did, yeah. I was complaining.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you were complaining.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do it. I'm always tired.
Well, basically, I just didn't want to do it on a Sunday anymore. I was thinking.
And we're also joined by Vitz Patel.
What's good, gamers?
Like
Happy New Year and all that jazz.
Vitz hasn't changed anything about his background, and you've just like moved everything closer. It's like you just picked your desk up and went, "No, I will move everything closer so people can."
I've basically put myself into a corner. Literally. Yeah. I have one way to get out, and it's that way. I can't get out that way.
Interesting.
It's only that way.
That
and the other side of the room, it's just like completely different.
Oh God, I need pictures after this.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah. I need to know the new layout of the room. Where am I going to be playing Dead Cells when I come down?
That side. That side.
Yes. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all that jazz. We're recording this episode a week early.
Indeed.
Because Moody wants to go on holiday.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I was already on holiday. I was already on holiday from this podcast. I had my feet up, not thinking about video games.
Wait, were we not technically meant to come back until next week?
Yes.
Were we?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be always coming back this week anyway.
Hell no. I haven't recovered from last year. Yeah.
That was only 4 days ago.
Exactly. That was only 4 days ago.
Like, this year's going to be even more crazy.
Crazy is one word for it.
Mm-hmm.
When we were discussing what this podcast would be about, and you were like, should we make some predictions? And nobody wants to hear my predictions for 2024.
Yeah. Well, you can just be the buzzkill. I mean, Vitz will just come in with some
awesome... I mean, there might be some glimmer of hope from me, but it's still the end is nigh.
Okay, you two can just be the buzzkill, and I'll come in and just say, "Games for you, game for you." Sprinkling fairy dust on it.
I think we're going to get this game, and I'm like, I think that studio's going to close, and I think we're going to get this game. I think it's going to get cancelled, and I'm just like batting down all of your predictions.
He's just like,
you know what the worst thing is though? Amy's got to be correct on all of them. Every call she makes.
Yeah, that day I quit. Then you know that, right? I'll be like, I'm out. I'm done with the negativity. Bye, guys.
Oh, screw this. It's too negative for me.
Amy's worn me out. I've lasted longer than I thought.
You've lasted longer than I thought.
Jeez.
No problem.
What am I doing? I'm trying to get rid of him, but he won't take the hint.
I'm not trying to get rid of him. I'm trying to get rid of anybody.
Like, I've brought in a new person to tell him to fuck up, basically.
I've already replaced you. Why are you still here?
Why are you turning up? Why do you keep on texting me when we're doing the podcast?
Extended handover, that's all it is. I'm just shadowing.
It takes at least a year to shadow me, so...
It's like the opposite of when I joined my Xbox and me.
Oh yeah, you just thrown right into that.
It's a very funny story. I haven't told it for years. I don't know if Vitz has heard it, where it's like I knew
Fixer the tail, Amy.
I knew Fixer for like a year, like because we'd met at the EGX previous. I was wearing a Resident Evil t-shirt, and so we spent the whole like night talking about Resident Evil. And then I saw him again at EGX the next year, and we just hung out one day. And then like I think it was like a few days later that week when I got back, and he was like, do you want to do like do some reviews like for my Xbox with me? And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I do reviews already anyway. So like, yeah, that sounds good. Like, and then it was like, oh, and, like, maybe we'll have you on, like, podcasts, like, Game of the Year and stuff like that. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I'm cool with just doing reviews. And then the next day it was like, so Joe's quit. Can you do the podcast tomorrow? Yeah, okay. And that was the next, like, year and a half of my life.
Wow. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. That was a very interesting time, that. Because I was like full into it as well, because I was like, very heavy involved. Not involved like with the podcast, but like
I didn't know
in the
you,
community.
but you were the guy who would always send the emails.
Yeah.
And as I've told you many times, I really appreciate those emails. So really good, thank you. But yeah, no.
Those emails were really good, is what she said, and now you're useless.
I'm just useless. Yeah. I'm just extra baggage.
You don't even send any emails anymore.
I know.
No, your questions are always good. It was always good to get them, those questions in. And then, I mean, if you're gonna get replaced by anybody, getting replaced by Snowbike Mike is like, it's almost like an honor.
And then he fucked off.
Didn't get a text after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I think we crossed over on one podcast, and it was the most hyped I've ever been in my entire life.
Shout out to Snowbike Mike. What an amazing human.
I don't understand the man. I really don't. It's like, he's just too hyped.
Nobody understands.
I don't think wrapped in a mystery.
Mike doesn't understand himself. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the guy, but like, he is like, I don't get you at all.
Yeah. I can only imagine the dynamic at the studio with all of them.
I liken him to a person who embodies many spirits. One is an elite gamer. The second is an elite athlete, but he hasn't told his body that. He'll just get up one day and decide, you know what, today's the day I'm going to run a half marathon. Why the heck? He'll go out and he'll do it.
Yeah, he watched RRR and literally went, those two are my spirit doubles. I am them inside and everything, and I'm just going to absorb their energy, and I'm going to bitch slap everyone, and I'm just like...
It does surprise me a little bit that he's not like a basketball player, like, or something like that.
You need to see the episode where they did actually play basketball. The bitrate was really terrible because we were filming outside and they're doing it live rather than pre-recorded, but for a second, he activated the elite athlete in it, and he had the eye of the tiger in his eyes. You should have seen the man.
Sure, he's on drugs. He just doesn't realize it.
The only drug is hype. Hype.
Yes.
He's all about hype.
He brings hype to the most uninteresting hype things ever, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't, dude.
He was
this ain't hype. Go away.
He was the one guy who liked Fallout 76 when it came out.
I know. It was his number one game for my Xbox and me. Oh,
just like that.
So annoyed at that. He's like, what? Well, at least someone liked it.
It was easy to annoy Fix. All you had to do is say, Fallout 76 is your game of the year, or I give Assassin's Creed Origins a 7 out of 10.
Well, Resident Evil 4 is the thing that is the best Resident Evil game ever. That really sets them off. Well, it did. I don't really know much these days about him, so
I never did that.
He might have changed.
I just told the truth, and like hear it sometimes.
True. Like how Assassin's Creed
games.
Sonic was rated the
Sonic
same, 7
Forces,
out of 7.
same rating. On his channel. I didn't want to do numbers in the first place.
You forced this on me. Yeah.
Oh man, how's everyone's
good times.
Christmas and it was good. No, they were good times. How was everyone's Christmas and New Year period?
It was a bit mixed. We started the festive period by putting the fun in funeral, so there was that, and then but the rest of the time was good. A lot of time spent with family and close ones and things like that, and overall it was a good time and a lot of closure, and just getting the batteries kind of recharged to come back at it like a bad habit this year.
Nice. That sounds good. Hey, Moody.
Hello.
How's Baldur's Gate 3?
Haven't touched it.
I know.
Haven't bought it.
Oh, I know.
Another game might have occupied a lot of my time.
What game was that?
Football.
Did it come with F? And then in Football Manager?
Maybe. I don't know. I played the 5th.
We don't have the 5th. This isn't America.
Yeah, true.
Thank God.
It would be a lot worse.
How was your Christmas?
I could have a prime minister in jail running the country. Oh shit! What the fuck? Anyway, it was all right. Like it's like my first time being away from family and not like coming back for Christmas. So it's like a bit of a culture hit for me. Don't know if that's the right terminology there. It was just weird for me. But I'm coming home this weekend and everything, and I'm all off next week. So it's like I'm happy to come home and I can but yeah, it was a bit weird. Just like speaking to people through the phone and everything or something like that. I was just like, yeah, I'm not liking this and whatnot. But yeah, it's okay. It's overall okay. We've just chilled. Watched Christmas movies on Christmas Day, like Die Hard,
Hell
Christmas
yeah, you
Carol. Screw you, Bruce Willis. I know you came out on a show and said Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Yes, it is.
It sure
If you
is.
came out in Christmas and you have Christmas in your movie, you're a Christmas movie. Those are the 2 criteria. You have to come out in Christmas and have a crispy Christmas.
I think it may.
Christmas.
I want to say it may have like aired in July. Oh, well, it might have hit cinemas in July, but it is set at Christmas and therefore Christmas movie.
At the end of the day,
I'm pretty sure it came out in December.
At the end of the day, Bruce Willis doesn't get to decide whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie anyway.
That's true.
That's true, yeah. Anyway, it's wrong anyway.
It's that thing. It's that thing everybody was talking about last year. I'm separating the art from the artist and declaring Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
Exactly, factual. But
July 15th. Apparently, but yeah.
I thought it was
a Christmas movie in July.
I know.
What's wrong with you guys?
I'm sure there was something. I remember watching a documentary about it once, but I'm sure there was a lot of problems with filming of it, but I don't remember what they were specifically.
It's all good. Amy, how was your festive break?
Yeah, it was all right. You know, like Christmas was Christmas, and then the rest of it was busy. I don't have one of these fancy jobs where I get Christmas off.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I forgive you. I forgive you.
No, experienced a few new board games over the festive break as well. So Mysterium was one that was new to me at least. So that was good fun. And then we bust out a game of Blockbusters, who people of a certain age might remember from the late 80s and early 90s and on UK television, hosted by Bob Holness. So that was good fun as well. So a few bits and pieces like that, and I got my ass handed. So things like that happened.
Cool. That's cool. I finished Yakuza on Christmas Day.
Ooh.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one. Still got a whole month. Damn. Didn't time
26th of Jan, right? So
yeah. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, that was a month when I finished it.
Time is a flat circle anyway, so it's all good.
yeah, you're not wrong. I'm playing Prey at the suggestion of both of the people on this podcast who I messaged independently with a list of games, and both said the same thing.
I mean, only after you said you can't say Persona.
That's true. I did specify that you can't say Persona.
My immediate reaction was Persona? Question.
No. No, I'm not doing a JRPG followed by a JRPG followed by a JRPG. I'll be dead by February.
Where another JRPG comes out.
No, instead I'll play the immersive sim survival horror, where all of the items could be aliens in disguise that jump on your face. And something called the Nightmare just randomly follows you around every now and again. Great.
When you sent that screenshot round, and I was like, okay, is it too late just to uninstall that game?
It's like, oh no.
That doesn't sound fun. It's not a fun time.
No, you even see it the first time. It's like a mechanic, and I don't want to explain how it works because I think the mystery is what makes it fun. But the first time, you're meant to encounter it at a certain point, but I kind of got right up to that point and then went, oh, well, there's a side quest on this other part of the space station that I could do. Let me go and do that real quick. Like, I didn't know I was going to encounter this thing. I just randomly turned around and so I went and did that, and then it just appeared in this. It spawned because like it triggered it like spawning, and so it was downstairs. And so I saw the pop-up notification while I was like fighting on the upstairs bit, and I guess it couldn't get to the upstairs bit. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on or what it looked like. I could see its little awareness bar, so I just hid in a corner, and then the timer went down. So then I didn't see it until I'd like triggered it properly in the sequence that you're supposed to do. You just started running straight towards me, and I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that?"
Amazing. Speaking of things that run towards you, my partner and I, we dipped into Lethal Company over the festive break as well. So we have that, and we encountered a spider and a different type of bug and a skill issue where I couldn't make a certain jump, and then I fell to my death. But aside from that, we made quota on our first playthrough, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but you haven't played with me. I'll really ruin everything.
Well, the very first item I found was the air horn. I was like, okay, this is my like chaotic art. It starts now.
What's this button do? Nice. Yeah, I bought it after you talked about it. We talked about it last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever. Last time.
Last podcast, yeah. Last time out.
And like, damn, I've got it installed and stuff. I need to find time to set aside to play with yours.
Well, hit me up.
I mean, definitely. I want to play more games with you guys instead of just always by myself.
Oh. I'm sure Moody is internally. He's saying, "Yes, I would also like to play games with you," instead of just saying silent.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, they're going to shut up yet.
Yeah,
no, I don't want to play games with them. It's getting it's getting awkward now. I did.
I'm just very picky when it comes to playing stuff. Like it's like it was like hard getting some of the games that me and Amy have played together just to get me into them. So it's like I'm just like,
I mean,
stay from the distance and I'll see what I'll dip my toes.
I'll give you the report once I've played it. Like, I've played enough games with you that you've enjoyed, and enough games with you that you haven't, that I think I can tell the difference at this point. This won't be another Back for Blood situation.
Oh, please no. Please fucking no. Please no. That was like the worst. It really, really was the worst.
It was pretty funny, though.
No.
Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah, it was funny.
Friends, if you're unaware, I believe that was a pseudo-spiritual successor for Left 4 Dead.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Which I enjoy it. Moody really
I had a habit of waking the person who was crying, and then it turned out, because I was like, oh no, this person's crying, I'll go see what's up, and apparently no, that was a bad move.
That's what they want you to do.
Yeah. I got suckered in.
I couldn't get the achievement on the first game. There's an achievement for killing the witch, which is the crying thing, with a headshot. And I could never get it. Ever. Like, me and Keith and Ross played shitloads of Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. And then I finally did it in Left 4 Dead 2. Where there's no achievement. I was raging.
Sounds about right, no doubt.
Yeah. Like, god damn it. Keith was weirdly competitive for a while with like achievements, like for like multiplayer games. Not for overall score, like, because I played way more games than he did, but for like if we were playing like Halo, for example, it would be like we'd have this like almost like race to see who could have the biggest achievement score.
Fair enough.
Hey, it was fun. But yeah,
I used to be into it, like for trophies, and then I was just like, why am I doing this?
Oh yeah. Game. It like ruins most games. Like I did Alan Wake 2 because I was like this close to it anyway, and I was just like, the rest of it doesn't sound that bad, like I might as well I'll extend the playtime by like 5 hours or something. And I platinumed Control because it made it like for one joke in a video that was 90 minutes long. So I was like, I'll just do that. Yeah, sure, why not? But like, I never like achievement hunt or trophy hunt.
I won't lie, I was pretty satisfied from my first platinum, which was, I believe, Mass Effect 2. Which I was like...
Was that one that required you to play on Insanity difficulty? Okay. So
like I replayed that like twice because like yeah. No, it's actually surprisingly very easy on Insanity. Sorry,
I think with the Legendary Edition, I've done it all apart from playthrough on Insanity because I'm just not that, I'm not built like that way.
Oh yeah,
to be able to do that.
Like, so I replayed Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
For that video that's eventually coming out, and like I wasn't tracking my achievements or anything. I was literally just playing the damn thing to get footage. And obviously getting footage meant like doing a lot of different side quests and stuff. And then like Moody pointed, I think it was even Moody who pointed it out. I mean, like that I had almost all of the achievements by the time I was done. It's like, what the fuck? What? Like, why is my achievements go like, yeah, I've got 101 achievements out of 127 just from playing the 3 games. And then I got to play them again and do the thing, and it's fine. I'm making something else right now.
I understand when it comes to video games, but the one thing I won't do is I won't reward a bad trophy or an achievement list. To say if it happens organically during my playthrough, happy days, that's fine kind of thing. But if a trophy list is inherently bad and requires infinite times of multiple playthroughs and things like that, and just essentially time wasting and not respecting your time, then I won't do it. I don't give two hoots about trophies for some titles, like in some like PlayStation Spider-Man titles, I should say. I do go for the platinum there because I find them to be a well-designed list, and like for most of the most recent Naughty Dog games as well. But those cases are a few and far between when we've had like an actual brilliant list to go after. But but you know, if trophies and achievements are your thing, then power to you. But also respect yourself.
Respect your time.
Yeah, that's it.
My thing with a trophy or achievement list is like, is it pointing me towards something I would probably want to go and see anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then yes, I will go and do this trophy because I want to. It's like it's helpfully pointing me in the direction of something.
Yeah, you're stumbling across a side quest or
complete the game on Super Mega Nightmare difficulty with blindfold on and one hand on the controller. I'm like, you know what? Like I've played Dark Souls. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to add challenge to my life.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't set games to hard.
I was just thinking about like The Expanse. That was really annoying. I'm one trophy away from getting the platinum for that, but I would have to play the entire game again. Choices. Even though I enjoyed it, I'm just like,
that's a bad trophy list.
No, that's really
it's a weird one, isn't it? Because the whole game is like focused around choices, right? So it's like you get an achievement for doing this thing instead of this thing, but then it's like, well, you have to do it again to get this thing.
Yeah. And it kind of invalidates your first playthrough, if that makes sense, in terms of your story is your story kind of thing, and the decisions you made is the way you directed your characters. But hopefully this year's games will have much better trophy lists with the value of experience that these teams have now got.
God damn, this guy with his segues.
Smooth segue in the house.
Maybe you know what? Maybe he should be hosting the podcast.
All right, I'm on to it.
Yeah, it's time to talk about our most anticipated games of 2024. I don't think it's going to be as a banger of a year as 2023.
No. Hopefully with fewer layoffs.
Not well. I mean,
we're off to a rough start already.
It's a nice dream.
Poor choice of words. Just
rip that fucking blaster straight off. Let's go. Yeah. We'll save that for a discussion about.
Yes.
Let's have a fun discussion first. Let's just talk about.
Okay,
games.
fun. Let's dial it in.
Let's talk about games. There's this giant elephant. Let's just ignore it for a little bit. For at least like an hour or so.
Yeah, Mario, stay in your corner.
Stay over there. No, stay over there. Don't look at me like that. Okay, I'll get to you. But yeah, so like I don't know how we want to do this. We don't really plan anything. Like
I was just thinking maybe just go through the months.
Go through the months and then do like
what have dates.
The big fucking list of games that might
just don't have date numbers. Yeah. Don't have dates. Yeah.
And I'm guessing you've already got a list.
I have the list from GameSpot.com.
Sick.
I don't know how accurate that is.
Probably not, but whatever, right? Like, I'm sure we'll think of games later where it's like, isn't this coming out?
Yeah. Well, the first one I was going to think of, like, is basically is the main. It's the first game, like, I'm probably going to be trying, and that is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Nice.
Like, when I first saw this, I was thinking, huh. But then by the end of the trailer, I was like, huh. And then I was like, oh, Skilps played this. Oh, he likes this. Oh, yeah.
You just reminded me of the turtle and Finding Nemo. I was like, whoa. And then it was like, whoa. And then I was like, whoa.
Shout out to Crush.
Give me some fin. Noggin. Sweet. Not deep.
150 years young, my dude.
Still going, man.
Cool. Yeah, I keep forgetting the Prince of Persia thing. It's the 2D Metroidvania one, not the Lost in Time remake.
This time, the Prince has had a bit of a redesign and has the same hairdo as Killmonger did in the Black Panther movie, which is cool. So, hoping this runs well on all the systems that are coming out on.
PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, the Xbox One, PC.
Okay, so we should get some decent performance out of that then.
It'll play good on the new generations.
It sure will.
See what the last gen rails though. Well, that'll be interesting.
It's fine. The AAA studios don't release broken games on purpose. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Respawn didn't do that with Star Wars all last year. I don't know what you're talking about.
You say that like it's still fixed.
I know. This is our last fix, but it's still broken. It's fixed. We're
done. We have to make the third one.
Yeah. And the third Star Wars movie, guys, not the third Titanfall game, okay? I know I said movie there as well. Okay, guys, so worry, chill. Star Wars, not Titanfall.
Yeah. I love the fact that they make busted ass fucking Star Wars games instead of, Titanfall games.
Busted ass, boring Titanfall games.
Fine. I know what you're trying to do.
California Casters.
I'm not letting that energy in this year. You're entitled to your opinions, no matter how terrible they are. Okay?
Yeah, terrible opinions. I know. I agree. Next one in January, to what I can go off is the game that Amy's basically waiting for, and that's Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth.
This is
the sequel on Christmas Day.
the further game previous. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to play the guide on one. I don't think. But one side, because I've been ignoring all of the trailers and stuff for this game. In fact, I've actually just looked at my laptop. I've actually still got a side quest guide.
The trailer going on.
No, I've got the side quest guide for the last one open. But yeah, no, Infinite Wealth. It's like I watched the trailer. They released a 10-minute trailer a few weeks ago.
A 10-minute trailer?
Yeah, there's like a story trailer that's like 10 minutes long or something, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" Like I just finished the game. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like I've got a month to go, and then I get to play another fucking 50 hours of this. Let me check this trailer out, and I'm fucking hyped, man.
Can I ask a silly question?
Yeah.
Well, it may not be silly, but in my head it's silly. Right? So, obviously you have the Yakuza games, and then Like a Dragon was its title in Japan, and now the rest of the world has adopted the Like a Dragon.
They've changed it to Like a Dragon. So like Yakuza Like a Dragon was like the 8th one.
Yes.
And now it's almost like a pivot.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Over that game. Whereas now it's Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Even though I'm still at multiple points in 2024, I'm probably still going to be like, oh yeah, Yakuza, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's how my brain works, but I'm fucking hyped. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, because obviously they have the mode where they take a lot of mechanics from like Animal Crossing and how you can build up an island and all the rest of it, and how many hours people will sink into that rather than seeing what's up with Ichiban and his friend.
Well, they had the company management stuff in the last one, which I didn't, which I was like, I'm not gonna do much of that, and then like I completed the whole thing. Like I completed the whole side quest. It was a really easy way to make money, but like it wasn't super in depth, which is why I think it was so addictive, because it was like quick and breezy. I don't know how the Animal Crossing stuff is gonna work. Like it definitely seems like it's a step up in terms of mechanics. That might be a step too far for me. But we'll see. Like I could have easily ignored the company management stuff in the last one and still had a really good time. So that's the good thing about these games, is like they have tons of side stuff, but like you don't have to do any of it.
Cool. I think roll it back just on the 14th of Jan. We have The Last of Us Part 2 remaster coming out, and looking forward to bringing my PS4 save over, getting that auto plat, and then as I was saying, we're planning on playing through Part 1, which should only take a few hours kind of thing, and then have play through 2 with New Game Plus and all that good stuff, and maybe dipping into the roguelike mode. We'll see how we get on with that, but for £10, I think it's an easy upgrade option.
It hasn't come up on the PlayStation Store yet, saying £10 upgrade yet.
Oh no, they did with all of their socials when it was announced.
No, but it's not on the store yet to do that. Unless it's because I didn't have the game installed. Maybe because I've just installed it. Maybe it's like, oh, now you upgrade for a tenner. Maybe I'm not sure, but
I see.
Better be coming up.
Yes,
and whatnot. But no, yeah, I'm excited for this. Just to go back to it, like this came out. What was it? 2020, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. It was an incredible game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to going back to seeing what they've done more.
You're both fucking sadists. Why would you want to go through that again?
I know that won't lie. I won't lie.
But at least this time I'll have all the upgraded gear and whatnot. So
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I have a save on it. I've got all.
I'm talking about the story.
I know. We get to kill and play with the dog at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but either way, the same game.
I watched a video essay about The Last of Us a couple of days ago, and that was bringing back fucking traumas that I didn't want to fucking revisit.
Maybe in the car. I'm going forward a little bit in January still. I don't know if I'm going to touch this, but I'm interested at the same time, and that's Tekken 8.
Yeah, coming out on the same day as Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon. It's like, why are you doing this?
You dogs can enjoy your fighting game.
I'm going Like a Dragon first. I intend to go Like a Dragon first. So.
The only reason this intrigues me, it's not something I'm going to play myself, but the colorblind option that was going around on social a couple of weeks ago is really interesting. Sadly, I think some of the videos that were being posted were causing a few issues to people who suffer epilepsy. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this pans out, and whether the kind of 3-punch combo, pun intended, of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and now Tekken is really going to resonate with the fighting game community going forward. But yeah, the Tournament of the Iron Fist, I think this one is called. Well, that's what they argue over. And yeah, if Tekken's your thing, then more power to you. I'm sure you're stoked.
Yeah, it was when I was a kid, so when I was young, I enjoyed them. So
I played Street Fighter. I didn't play Tekken.
I played Bushido.
I never played Street Fighter.
Of course, Bushido Blade.
Because I'm a fucking weirdo.
To be fair, I played Soul Calibur 2 a lot as well.
Bushido Blade was so good. Like, if you imagine a fighting game is just really high energy, high octane, two people battering the shit out of each other, and then Bushido Blade is two people like staring at each other.
Yes.
Waiting for someone to make the first move. And then you go, whap, 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 and it's done. That's it. I was like, that's my kind of fighting game.
There you go.
Well, sliding into February now. Might try this. Persona 3 Reloaded.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah.
Oh, Reload. Yeah. Not Reloaded.
No,
that's the Matrix. You're thinking of the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about bad sequels before we started. Yeah. That's one right there.
But I'm interested because I've never really truly tried or even got into a Persona properly. So, and I've heard great things about this one. So,
if you play Persona 3 before Persona 5, I'm going to take this microphone off its desk and I'm going to beat you with it.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to get beaten to death by a microphone. So, okay.
I never said to death.
Get beaten within an inch of my life, I guess.
Exactly. I'm just saying.
With Amy's microphone.
No, I'm joking. I look forward to playing this sometime in the next 10 years.
Let's see if I can get my camera to refocus. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, because like I'm still playing Royal, which I want to finish at some point. There's like 2 other Persona 5 sequels, Persona 4, Persona 3. It's like I'll get to it.
I'm interested in what quality of life improvements, what they discovered with developing Royal and stuff like that they're going to bring over to Persona 3. But Moody, if you enjoy, boy, have I got a game recommendation for you, my friend.
Yeah, it's the same game he recommends to everybody all the time.
Yes, because it's amazing.
Like, hey, Vitz, do you even have any 10-hour game recommendations? Have you heard of this game called Persona? Hey, Vitz,
I've just finished the 3rd one. Oh, he's this one.
Hey, Vitz, I'm just thinking I might go out eat somewhere. Do you have any recommendations for food? Well, have you heard of this game called Persona? Oh, no. It froze, and that joke was sick.
Yep.
Was that Discord or me who froze?
That was Discord. That was a great joke, and you didn't hear it. God damn it. Damn it.
And the world is ending.
Discord. You got bought by Sony, and now you fucking suck. You're going to make 12 live service games if you can't even make Discord work properly.
So,
go on.
Persona 3, is that coming out on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's your way in, unless you want to go for PlayStation trophies, of course, Moody.
I'll be renting it from Boomerang.
This guy will buy it on PlayStation, especially if it's coming out on Game Pass. That was his move last year.
There you go.
I didn't do it on purpose. Leave me alone.
If I had a nickel for every time Moody bought a game that was on Game Pass, I'd have 2 nickels.
I got to work this in somehow. I got this new bad boy because I got to play this.
Audio listeners, Moody just held up a. I'm not sure what the specific shade of blue it is, but it's the PlayStation 5 DualSense.
Yeah. I got to play that bad boy.
Well, have fun with that. But you know what you can play on there, Mooney? Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
I'm not touching that fucking game whatsoever.
I mean, look, I feel bad laughing about it because obviously, like, a lot of talented developers make that game, but my fucking god, like, someone flashed a video I was watching, and someone like flashed gameplay from that gameplay reveal up on the thing, and I was just like, God, it was worse than I remember.
You mean you didn't enjoy having characters just fly around shooting generic purple items?
Watching King Shark fly through the air, minigunning a tank, and I was just like, you know what?
Hey, to be fair, friends, I have not read the comics. Maybe King Shark's got that in him. Maybe he can fly, and I just don't know about it.
I think I'm going to be busy that day. What's next on your list? I had to bring up Suicide Squad. I'm not even going to put it on the list, though.
Speaking of games that...
Yeah, cool.
Ooh, yeah. Not one that I'm going to personally touch, but I know a few people who good on them. And I think it's the first... Well, I mean, outside of Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, it's the first Sony first-party title that's releasing of the year.
Not first party, is it? It's exclusive, though.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, maybe a second.
Yeah.
No, it's one of the... I think it's still one of their 12 live service games. I like the first one. I played a lot of it with Heath. We blew each other up all the time.
Skull and Bones is finally coming out.
Yeah, of course it is.
I think they did this aside with getting this out.
February is going to be a fun month.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I tell you right now, everyone's going to bitch about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League scores because the critics are going to be saying 8, 9 out of 10s, and everyone's going to be like, "What the fuck are you calling this an 8 and 9 out of 10 game? It's easily a 6, you fucking idiots." Or something like that.
I just remembered the Starfield discourse all over again in my head. No, Jez Corden, Windows Central. Yeah, no. Are there any other games in February coming out that any of us would
There's
play?
Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which I think will be interesting. The remake of that, which was too long ago actually, so I think this will come around fairly quickly. And then in Feb, there's just the small matter of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is coming out, which I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, it is.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Final who now? Yeah,
I'm gonna go fucking feral when that game comes out.
Yep.
I have booked time off and everything.
So
there's no podcasts, there's no nothing.
You're on your own, guys.
So Lauren and I are queuing up, like, obviously a playthrough of a remake, but we're also planning to have a watch of Advent Children as well, just to fully immerse ourselves even more. So we're like fresh with all the knowledge that we can do.
Nice.
Ahead of dipping into this. Speaking of Advent Children, it's getting a new theatrical run. So I think on the 19th of Feb, it hits cinemas in Japan and also in US. I think in Los Angeles of the new or the recent release 4K remake. Square Enix are going all out for this, and Square Enix, they're doing a lot of things. Some of it good, some of it not so much. But yes,
dude, shut up on New Year's Day.
Yeah, we've got a sequel to the fucking infamous New Year's Day. That.
Yep. So I'm really excited for Rebirth, and I think it's even more exciting, not just because it's Final Fantasy, because of the events of what happened in Remake. Pretty much anything is on the table, and expectations could be met, they could be subverted, they could be switched, all different types of directions, and let the chaos ensue.
There's no doubt about it. There's excitement around this one. There's for this game and everything like that. And for what the care they've done with this franchise with 7, and like obviously we all know, we've all heard the rumors of like the 9's getting a remake and some sort.
Yes.
Probably after this one, no doubt about it. If it is actually happening, if they go into like the same type of way, like okay, 9's been out. That is that story. Here's this other story now, all in the same universe with the same characters. Everything. If they do it that way, I'm gonna be like, yes, please. That's fantastic. You don't have to. You don't have to touch the game I love. But if you want to expand and do something different, to go for it. I'm all in for it. And yeah, I'll be trying it. There's no doubt about it. Like but no, yeah.
Final Fantasy IX doesn't really lend itself to the same style of remake that they've done for Final Fantasy VII. In terms of like the altering destiny and the shadows and the shades.
Oh yeah, but they could do something. There's no doubt about it to change things up. But yeah, either way, they've done it with such care. Like if 9 does come, like I'm excited for that as well.
But they've done the first third of it with such care.
Yes.
That's true.
This is Square Enix. I'm not counting any chickens.
Let's not count that Chocobo eggs
until the
just
third games come out. Yeah.
When I have played it all, then I will give a definitive statement. The first one is awesome.
Yes.
We'll see where it goes.
Square Enix. Have you got the Kingdom Hearts news while you're at it? Thanks.
Sliding into March. For me, the only game I'm probably thinking about in March. No, I've got 2 actually. So first one is Dragon Dogma 2. Never played the original, but I'm gonna give this a go. It looks amazing, and like the original kid came up with a cult following, and like apparently like this is looking like all awesome, and I'm like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this resonates, especially with the Monster Hunter crowd, like frothing at the mouth for Monster Hunter Wild. And whether Dragon Dogma 2 will kind of satiate that, because it is, that RPG monsters and all the rest of it vibe.
I did play the first one for a bit. The only things I remember is like a dragon rips your heart out in like the first 20 minutes of the game, and the companion characters never shut up. Like worse than God of War. Those are the 2 things I remember about me playing Dragon's Dogma for a bit. But yeah, no, like I can sit here and be like, oh, I'll try it. I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy in March. If you're releasing a game in March, you do not have my sale. I'm just putting it out there.
That's fair. That was fair.
The only other game I wanted to mention in March was Princess Peach Showtime. So I think this is the first time that Peach is headlining their own game kind of thing, and it'll be interesting to see what they do there, whether it is kind of a cookie cutter experience, and whether it is kind of one of the last major Switch before a heavily rumored a Nintendo Super Switch is a thing.
Oh, everything else is, I think, is basically just like cookie cutter for the rest of the year and everything until Switch. Whatever they call it for the fall next year, for this year. So yeah, the only other game in match for me is Rise of Rohan. I love samurais. I love the Asian culture and everything like that. So I'm like looking forward to just going back to the samurai. Like one of my favorite games was a samurai game last year in Like a Dragon Ishin. And I know they're completely different games, these two, because this is more of a Souls-like and everything, but. Yeah, I'm because of something of work related. I'm kind of getting into a little bit of Souls, a little bit, which is irritating as fuck.
Are you enjoying it?
A little bit.
How far are you away from being called a foul tarnish?
I'll never get called that.
You own the fucking game.
But yeah, I'm not interested in seeing Rise of Rohan.
I need to rewind to February to justify my Queen of the Indie. I need to rewind to February to justify my Queen of the Indie Games crown. Because there's a couple indie games coming out. Pacific Drive, which is the driving through the horror thing in the car.
Oh yeah, that car
game.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be coming out. And
yeah, that's not on my list. Sorry.
And Open Roads, yeah, because you got a GameSpot. They don't know what an indie game is.
Okay, who do I go to, Amy? Tell me who I go to.
Me! You go to me! I have all the knowledge.
Well, I'm sorry, brain. I went through February and you never said anything. You waited until we got to March.
Because I'm not going to be playing anything in March.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
And it's also Open Roads, which is the Annapurna Interactive published interactive movie mystery thriller.
Ooh.
Basically, anything Annapurna. Yeah, but it's coming out in March, so it's a game that's dead to her right now.
No, it's coming out it's coming out before Final Fantasy. It's the game from the guys that made Gone Home.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So it's the people who made Gone Home and then Tacoma. I want to say that was They were the same team behind.
Okay, I'll go to the Sun for game releases. Okay, let's see if they got.
That'll be good. Yeah. They're also making a Star Wars Dark Forces remaster, which is coming out in February.
Yeah, that's true.
And I like that. I like that game when I was in school.
That's fine.
On the PS1.
Yeah, Night Dive Studios are bringing that back, aren't they?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Any indie game coming out in March off the top of your head or on your list that is coming out that you know of?
Yeah. The top of my head, no.
Life by You is entering early access on 5th of March.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a kind of Paradox is doing their take on The Sims. So that might be interesting. And
cheaper than trying to get into The Sims.
Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark's getting the remakes feature as well.
Yeah,
I think that could be a very quiet, successful game, that. I don't know why.
Maybe. I don't know. It's weird because they did that thing where they were like, "Oh, we're going to delay our game because Baldur's Gate's coming out."
The game else is coming out.
And then we'll put it out in January. And then they were like, "Oh, we're going to delay our game more because it needs more time." And I was like,
"Yeah,
wait,
well,
one
of those is like." Apparently, that one's got Jodie Comer and David Harbour.
Yeah.
If you're fans of those people, then yay.
Okay, going off from the list that I have, April looks dead. Why?
There was one title I wanted to give a shout out that's coming out 16th of April, at least on PC, where consoles TBC, a game called Europa, purely for the art style. So for those who were a fan of Ni no Kuni and that kind of Studio Ghibli aesthetic, then is for you. From the world art director of Overwatch 2, Helder Pinto, They created a new studio at Nova Dust Entertainment. It is a peaceful game of adventure, exploration, and meditation. So yeah, Europa. Check it out. And
yeah, we're into the part of the year which doesn't have any release dates anymore. Yeah, the unknown times.
Yes.
Yeah, everything else it's looking pretty quiet.
Yeah, it won't stay that way.
So, going into the unannounced or to be announced. Obviously, these are games that they don't really know if they actually are going to be coming out in 2024.
Is it my time to shine?
This is your
games that haven't games with no release date.
So they've got down right now is obviously just going in off. This is alphabetical. Avowed. Do we think that could be next this year?
That's Obsidian, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Potentially. Although I think all of Xbox is eggs are in Hellblade 2. Cinemas, whatever it is.
What? I'm gonna make Moody's gonna go through a big list of games, and we're gonna talk about tons of them. I'm gonna make this a little bit spicier by making for myself the question that Moody just asked: do we think that this is gonna come out? For me, I'm gonna go yes, no. There is no maybe,
okay.
And I'm gonna write it all down, and then I'm gonna see how wrong I was as time goes on. Sorry to
Moody,
you there, Vitz.
Unchit.
Yes.
I forgot about this game. Stalkers 2, Heart of Chernobyl.
Stalker 2.
I would say yes on that one.
I mean, yeah, sure. And I want to play it. I want to play the first one as well. Like, I've never actually played the first one all the way through. Like,
so yeah, I'm interested in it. There's no doubt about that because it's just got Chernobyl in it.
Well, my thing is,
massive Chernobyl nerd.
I've got this weird thing with my brain chemistry, I guess, where it's like if I play if I'm going to play a first person game, like for some reason I like way prefer to do that on a mouse and keyboard. Like third person, I can do that on a controller, no problem. Yeah. First person, I'm like, I really want to play on a mouse and keyboard.
Need to click some heads.
I got it. It's not even clicking heads, just click. I don't know. It's something about the immersion level of a first person game. But I'm also aware that until I save up enough money for my graphics card, trying to play a game like Stalker 2 will melt my house.
Really, what's next on your list?
I've gone to a new one now. So this one, they've already said it's going to be out in early access, but do we think it will release altogether by the end of the year? Hades 2.
I like how you teasing me. You know, there's one game. You know, there's one game. No, it's not going to be out of early access. Yeah. I'm going to play
I have a sneaking suspicion it is going to make early access, but not towards the end of the year, kind of.
They said it's early access this year.
They say a lot of things.
With an early access PC version set to debut in Q2 before its eventual release on consoles.
Yeah, it'll be an early access for I think the first one was an early access for like a year and a half. I was one of the few games I actually played like in early access. I played a bunch.
So you're saying it's Hades 2 versus GTA 5 in 2025? Is that what it is?
I'm saying it's no contest. You pit Hades against GTA. I mean, I know where I'm going.
Star Wars Outlaws. We know this is coming out, obviously. To our knowledge, it's coming out in 2024.
I'm going to say,
basically said,
no, it's not coming out. But
yeah, I could see that title needing more time in the oven.
I just whether give it. It's one of those. It's Outlaws. Like I've read about it was in one of the Edge magazines. I was talking to Moody about it. It's like they talk about the game like, oh, you know, it's an open world, but it's not going to be like huge and fucking massive and a bazillion hours. And I'm like, you're speaking my language here. Don't get my hopes up for this game. It's the perfect candidate for a game that comes out and is fucking tremendously broken.
So the top of my knowledge, going through what I've seen, things I've already read, we don't really know of any first-party PlayStation yet. So I'm going to throw this one out. Wolverine.
No, I think the next. I mean, this is only going to the information that was stolen from Insomniac over the festive period, and it's one of these. And for those who haven't interacted with, dress that up again at this point, unless you want me to, fellow co-hosts. But the next title begins with a V, not a W.
I thought it was the other way around, I'm not going to lie.
I was trying to think of any other video game that started with a V, and I failed. No, I don't think it's going to come out this year. I don't think PlayStation's release slate for this year, if whatever they release first party, I would assume is going to be live service games.
Yes.
Why didn't I use this site? This site's got a bag selection, it looks like it. That's so annoying.
Let me guess, is it the Sun? It's a Daily Star has gone over to.
Daily Star, yeah. Pornhub.
Vulture? So... Oh, God. Can't really... okay, let's go this one. Amy, Hollow Knight Silksong, is this coming out this year?
How long did that take you? Fucking goddamn it.
You fucking twat!
Fucking absolute bastard. No. Don't see a question.
But that's not going to stop you from picking it in Fantasy League. So.
No, I'm obligated
There you go.
to pick it in Fantasy League.
If it gets to her, that's
it won't get to me,
it.
though. Like, I said this to Mooney when we talked about it. I said it's going to be someone's going to think they're funny, and it's going to be the biggest mistake they make all year at Fantasy Critic. But I'm really looking forward to it. I played a demo of it 5 years ago, and it was really good.
Could be a third-person shooter by now.
Could be a live service or
the demo I played was really good. You jumped around in a volcano and fought a boss. Yeah, I don't know. I assume that part's still in the game.
Sorry, what was that, Moody?
Hellblade 2.
Yeah, I think that lands next year. I think it's been in development.
So you're saying 2025? Maybe it's...
No, Vitz
I'm saying this year.
Thing
where
it's like,
next year. Sorry, I misheard you.
No, it's going to be coming out. My concern about Hellblade 2 is, have they just like made it really long? Like,
yes.
Have they padded it? Have they stretched it? Have they made it like bigger? And is that necessarily a good thing?
Yeah, they'll need to put that on the back of, well, if it again had box art, they'll put that on the back.
Like,
bigger, even longer, scarier.
It's 20 hours now, and I'm like, yeah, does it need to be though?
And your ears will fall off this time.
Like, you can't have a game where it whispers things in your ears be too long, because then I might actually start going crazy.
Yeah.
But no, like, I'm excited. Like, the first one was really good. It's one of those games that's been around forever, but I don't know anything about it. Like,
yeah,
it's Death Stranding all over again. I've seen how many trailers?
Yeah.
I think that's really it from the list that I'm going through right now. I'm just like,
friends, when do we think Plucky Squire is coming out?
Never. It's Moody's Hollow Knight.
This year, I think that's going to drop for Q2.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw them just mention it on social media, so I'm, pretty sure it's close. It is a very complex game, but
yeah. No doubt, understandable why they've pushed it. I think so. About that.
Going on an article on Eurogamer.net, one of the titles here, which may a few of us, is a small title by the name of Football 5. From just another year for the Venerable Management Series, FM25 has been bigged up by Sports Interactive Studio head Mike Jacobson in something of a revolution.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
You cut out, but I still knew you said Football Manager 2025. It's being made in a new engine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that. How the fuck do I know that?
Because you care, that's why. You care about Moody's feelings.
I do, it's true. I do care about Moody's feelings. Metaphor Fantazio, anyone?
Not so much.
What do you mean? It's the game from the Persona studio, the fantasy one.
Oh yes. Okay, now you said that. I'm still gonna probably wait until see what the critical response is. Only because
Discord didn't like that answer.
It really didn't. Yeah, we'll see how long it is and things like that. But it looks really cool. But yeah, I might be. I'm not sure if I'm a Persona fan or a fan of things that team will go on to do, kind of thing.
Let's take a break because Discord's shit in the bed right now. And we'll let Discord chill out for a bit. And then I'm coming at you with my list of games.
Yes.
I'm coming in with the deep cuts, the deep dives, the games that no one's heard of, except they have. They just forgot about them. But I don't forget anything. That's my curse. I'm not allowed.
No, I should have gone to the Eurogamer one. They have far better list.
So let's do the halftime. There's no indie game of the week this week. We've already talked about a bunch of them, and we'll talk about a bunch more.
Oh wow, this looks awesome.
Moody's not even listening. This is a great time to do it. Let's go.
It was locked and loaded.
You're all ready for this? All right, cool. Games that might or might not be coming out in 2024. Boom. Number 1, Metroid Prime 4.
Not a shot.
Not a chance.
Boom. I mean, so this.
No, wait a minute. It's been 5 years now since that was announced.
Announced is a strong word.
I'm gonna say yeah. I think it's gonna be the launch title.
Yeah.
For the new Switch.
That's what I was thinking. Like, so that's 2.
Okay.
Mario. It's not gonna be Mario. I think they've put out the last Mario until next year now, or not the year after. It's not gonna be Zelda.
Might if it was Zelda. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I mean, what have the Odyssey team been working on?
No idea.
A new 3D Mario game.
Yeah. Like, so how, do you think, well, I guess the question is, right, because you got Mario 3D, whatever the fuck, right? Odyssey 2, whatever, and Metroid Prime 4. The real question there is, do you think the Switch is coming out this year?
So there was a report going around yesterday.
Was this Jeff Grubb again? Because I swear to God.
No, it's not Jeff Grubb. Okay. It was a different analyst whose name escapes me at the moment, as most names do. But yeah, they were saying that it's going to be an evolution device as opposed to the Switch, so it will be more powerful, more bells and whistles. Apparently, US dollars.
How many US dollars? Sorry,
400.
400.
Yeah. So it'll be
this economy
kind of yeah. It'll be similar in architecture, just in terms of Joy-Cons and the like, and having the ability to take it with you and dock the system and things like that. So yeah, I see similar titles coming out of it, just looking shinier and hopefully performing faster.
Pokemon.
Basically as powerful as the PS4. So,
like
going off on the leaks and everything. So
the thing with the Switch 2 is like they'd be foolish to like not, if they backed away from the whole handheld home console hybrid thing, they would be
yes.
Yeah, put it in an unmarked grave with the Wii U, like. So yeah, like it doesn't shock me that it's just going to be like the Switch but more.
Yes. But I can see it coming out holiday this year. Yeah. So like November time-ish.
Cool. With Metroid or Mario.
October.
Or Mario Kart.
No, I don't think about Mario Kart is I think Nintendo have put themselves in a bit of a corner with Mario Kart, where it's like, how do you follow up Mario Kart 8? Like,
that's true.
Any game that you release, like if you release Mario Kart 9, that's great. But like, what kind of features can you add to Mario Kart to make it stand out as a sequel? And 2, it's gonna have less stuff than Mario Kart 8.
True, yeah, especially with all the DLC they've done and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's the same. I think it's the same problem they have with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's like, okay, you made the ultimate version of this game. What are you gonna do now?
He was supposed to retire, but now he's saying, "I got one more in me."
I've got one more in me. It's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna release a game with a smaller roster? Like, you've already released the ultimate version of the game.
There you go.
So I'll be curious to see what they do next with those two franchises. But no, I you know what? I'm sticking to my guns that I've been saying. I don't care about leaks and whatnot. I don't think the Switch is coming out till next year.
Okay, I can see that happening as well.
So I don't think they're gonna have a big game here either, because anything that they release this year, if the Switch successor doesn't come out, it's just like, why don't you just wait until Switch 2? So yeah,
Why it'll be coming out this year. For me, I think it is going to come out this year because I think one of their mainline games that's going to come out is also a new Pokemon game. Not the new generation. I just think a new Pokemon game is going to be coming out. Either something to do with Johto or something to do with the Black and White series that came out years ago.
A new Pokemon. I don't know. Moody said a lot of words that I didn't understand. There were a lot of nouns.
Yeah.
That I'm not familiar with. Yeah, no. Like, I could see them doing like an HD version of some Zelda game or another. As well.
Yeah, can we get Oracle Ages and Oracle Seasons in the Link's Awakening engine, please? Thank you.
Okay. I thought they was going to say they're on Switch Online, right?
Yeah, the original ones are.
Yeah, because they're on my list to play because they're somebody's favorite Zelda game.
Yeah, they're up there as well. So I originally played them on the Game Boy Color, and yeah, they were my second and third Zelda.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm hoping Wind Waker. Personally, just give me a way to play Wind Waker, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Please. But yeah, cool. All right. So games that might be coming out in 2024. Animal Well. That super sick pixel game that me and Moody lost it over a couple of years ago. That's being published by Donkey.
Yeah, I've literally I'm going through the Eurogamer thing now, the most anticipated. I'm literally like,
Dora likes it as well.
Save the Steam.
There you go.
Save the Steam. Yeah, Animal Well. I think that looks amazing. Like, I think that could be like one of the best indie games to come out this year.
Like,
so for me, like, yeah, I'm all over that. For me,
I
think that'll come out.
The technical stuff that they're showing for Animal Well is just like this is an Amy game, like where I can just really get into the minutia of like how things work and how this did this, and yeah. So I'm super looking forward to it. Disappointed it didn't come out last year.
You tell them, Adora.
But I'm glad I'm kind of glad it didn't, because like now it's like I'm glad all of these games didn't get lost in the shuffle last year. Visions of Mana was another one I remember from the Game Awards. I think it was.
Sure. So, sorry, is this a follow-up to the Tales of Mana?
Yeah, it's a brand new entry in the Mana series, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that coming out. Yeah, for sure.
Well, also, do you think the game might be good?
I don't think they really miss. But it's one of these franchises I'm not especially close to. So, but just from what I've heard, if previous Mana games kind of thing, then yeah, all power to you.
I agree.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, I know I'm doing this thing where I'm gonna like totally like make a fool of myself, by the end of the year. But like, yeah, it's still most anticipated games of 2024.
Yeah.
Based on what Amy remembers of marketing.
We are going by the vibes in the now. That's all we're doing. When we see some critical hands-on keys, and yeah.
Also, the game that I backed on Kickstarter while we were watching the trailer for the game at the Summer Games Doodah, Beastie Ball. It's Pokemon, but volleyball.
Nice.
Which I'm really fucking looking forward to. And they said when I backed it, they were like, it's 2024. And no Kickstarter has ever lied to me about its delivery date, so...
Not one.
Not at all.
I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah. All
right, Amy's memory is starting to wane now. Wikipedia, help me.
Is Hyperlight Breaker on your list, Ames?
I mean, I don't have a list, but I've just opened Wikipedia. But Hyperlight Breaker is an interesting one because it's a completely different type of game from Hyperlight Drifter.
It is. It's entering early access. It's apparently early this year, but what the hell is early? So it would just see how this pans out, and but like the art style looks amazing, and I hope that it's brilliant for of the original. Like I said, it's different, but hopefully different can mean good.
Different sometimes does mean good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely played the first one and really enjoyed it, but like again, it's like a hard reset point. It's like, hey, this one's completely different, and I trust the development team because they made a game I really liked.
Yep.
What do we think of Little Nightmares 3? I know you're not a fan of the first two and everything, but like just didn't work for you. But like, do we think this comes out this year? They've announced it for this year, but obviously things could change.
Yeah, sure. I'm always down to try one of these games. They always look like I should enjoy them.
They scream in Amy RC again. There's no doubt about it.
Don't know what's wrong with me.
What do we think of 30? Sorry, let's go. Sorry.
So one thing I did want to shout out, especially pertinent, is the next expansion for critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy Dawn Trail. So that's teased to come out in summer of this year, and I can't wait. Thinking like over 290 hours to everything that's currently out for Final Fantasy 14. I'll be looking to re-up my subscription and explore the new lands that will be available here and find out what's going on with the story, which really claws in me and was a real driving force to getting me through expansions and so forth. And looking forward to finally to get my paladin character higher than level 90, which full steam ahead for that one.
All right. I got a notification from my PlayStation app on my phone where it was like, Final Fantasy 14, the complete Ultimate Edition's on sale. And I do the same thing I do every time it's on sale. I click it and I go, oh, that's a good price. And then Discord freezes and...
It sure did.
And then Discord freezes and nobody fucking hears my story. Like, great, yeah. Like, I click on it and then I look at the price and I go, it's a good price. And then it goes, it's got all the expansions in it. And I go, mint. Hey, maybe now is finally the time where I get Final Fantasy 14. And then I get to the last bullet point and it's like, it includes a 30-day free trial. I'm like, yeah, it's a subscription game. Never mind.
I won't give you the full spiel now about what the free trial includes.
But the problem with the free trial is it gets to a certain point, and then I've got to start paying money for it. And then at that point, I got to pay money for it because I'm already in, and that's why that's why the free trial exists, and that's why I'm resisting it.
So Lauren and I actually jumped in with the free trial kind of thing, and you're still limited as to what you can do in game, especially like from a social aspect in terms of banding together and finding party friends. The dungeons and quests you are really encouraged to subscribe, which is the point of these games kind of thing, to get money out of you. But it is one of the most special story experiences.
Like I'm like, you know what? My interest in paying a subscription to play a game died with Discord. Wow, this is great. I love this podcast for us. Yeah, I haven't paid for a subscription for a game since World of Warcraft, and I just can't do it anymore.
That's completely fair.
Like, paying for a subscription for a game just destroys your brain chemistry, where it's like, well, I really want to play this game, but I need to get my subscriptions without playing this. And that's how you miss almost an entire console generation. True story. I missed so many games when WoW came out.
Now, I don't think this game actually really exists, but EA have told us that they're going to show it off in the summer, but I don't believe it exists, so who knows. Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
I can see another trailer coming out, but it will be another full CG trailer made by Blur Studio.
They've said it's a massive talk about it. So again, see how it goes. I guess it's Jeff Keighley Summer Games Fest thing.
Maybe it depends. EA could do their own thing. Like they've done it before. Even they've done it so many times when they really shouldn't have. So like I could definitely see them doing it, because the last one I remember watching was like they did 30-minute segments on a bunch of games.
They did, where they had nothing but concept art to show.
Yeah, they had nothing to fucking show after I think the first game was Star Wars, and then after that it was like, oh, look at this picture. Look at this picture of R2-D2 or whatever. But like maybe they've got some like enough of a slate, right? Because like you got Dragon Age, and you've got sports games, and you've got Skate, and you've got their EA Originals stuff that with the smaller developers that they work on, like the studio that made It Takes Two, and the ones that made Lost in Random. So it's like I could see them putting on their own show, and then if they do that, then they could have like a half-hour Dragon Age thing hosted by Greg Miller probably, where they just talk about Dragon Age for 30 minutes. It's not coming out this year. That'd be mental.
No. Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what kind of game it is at this point, because it's like I haven't seen the game yet. It's been
no one has.
It's been half a decade.
I don't even think BioWare have seen it.
Like, at least Todd Howard had the decency to just show us a GIF and then shut up. Not keep putting trailers out, and it's just like, come on, man. Stop reminding me this exists. So yeah, no. Looking forward to it. Don't know. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 sounds like it's gonna be, and I mean no disrespect whatsoever to the development studio that's taken over development of this game, but the second they turned around and said this isn't going to be an immersive sim anymore, my brain just went, this is going to be the biggest disappointment I've ever experienced in video games.
Yeah.
And I hate that I feel that way, but it's just like, oh, the first one is famous for being a really, really, really good immersive sim, despite the fact that it was so busted up as fuck, you needed mods to be able to finish the game. And people still call it like one of the best games they've ever played, including me. And then the second it was like, it's not going to be that kind of game. I was like, no. Why did you give me hope?
Yeah.
And then destroy it.
It's a Futurama gif, isn't it? You raised my hope quite expertly, and then dashed
yeah,
well played, sir.
yeah. Well played. Well played. Thank you. And you know what? Like, I'm not saying it's not still a good game. I'm not saying that the devs aren't working really hard. Like, it could still be a good game. It's just, man, like that title, and then
it may just leave you with, this had so much potential to be incredible.
This could have been the sequel to the game, and instead it's just a different game. So I have very complex emotions about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines too.
That's right. What do you think of the Never from the team behind Grisp? You like, cannot remember this game.
Yeah. More or less. Like, oh, okay. Never. I'm guessing it's NEVA. Never.
Yeah, NEVA, yeah.
This is ringing zero bells, but it's by the people who made Gree. So, it's probably going to be pretty good. Gree was pretty good. I enjoyed that game a lot when it came out. And I'm watching the trailer silently play on Steam. Which...
Yeah, from the team behind Gree, Neva is another artful game. Big themes, following a protagonist underwater canyon through a dying world. The artwork is glorious, it is perfect. Prepare for the breadth of the rainbow.
Discord cut off like every other syllable in the sentence that you read there. This is going to be a terrible podcast, and I apologize to anybody who made it this far into it.
But we appreciate you for sticking with it.
Yeah, please, thank you for sticking with us. It's not our fault.
Oh, like Discord's like really shit in the bed. It's kind of really getting annoying now.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, it's hard to have a fucking conversation, but
Yeah.
We haven't got long left, so that's fine. We just got to put up with it for a little bit longer.
33 Immortals is a game that looked interesting. One of the Xbox, I think that their showcase they did last year. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it shapes up. But from the trailer that was shown, yeah, it looked pretty cool.
Is this the roguelike where it's multiplayer?
Yeah, it's 33 player co-op.
Players?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting idea.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see like when people come back with previews and say, "Oh, we tried it and it's chaos."
Yeah, like it's being you got to get like to even do a preview. It's like you got to get 32 other people.
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody's gonna have to play it together.
Yeah, bold of you to assume I have 32 friends.
Yeah, I can't even get a game of Among Us going anymore.
Yeah.
Never mind fucking 33 player multiplayer. The game from the people who I was looking this up. I'm showing my entire fucking hand here as far as like Fantasy Critic drafting in a few weeks goes. But let me just look it up. It's the game from the developers of Celeste, and it's called Earthblade.
Ooh.
And then
yes,
they announced it a couple of years ago, and I've been just sitting here patiently waiting ever since. Because when they announced it, I think it was like 2022, and I'm sure they announced it and said 2024. And I was like, that's a long time away. But I will sit here.
The release on Steam says 2024.
I will sit here and wait patiently for 2024, and guess what? It's 2024. Don't pull a Hollow Knight on me.
Yeah, she's done her sitting. She's done her sitting patiently. Now deliver. Now
it's like, game, please.
Yeah, she's been ever such a good girl. Please, please give her a game.
Please. I haven't
please,
complained.
Sir, can I have some more?
Please, Yeah, they announced it at the Game Awards like 2 years in 2022.
Yeah,
and I'm super ready for the next game by the people who made Celeste, because they made Celeste.
Yeah, they did.
I'm even trying to remember games, and I'm sure there's going to be tons that I have totally forgotten about. There's a game in early access on Steam at the minute called Gloomwood that I'm holding off on until it comes out in 1.0, which looks really good. It's like an immersive sim, bit like inspiration from Thief.
Okay. Yeah.
And like a lot of people I know have played the early access, like fucking really dig it, and so I'm like, cool, like that. It sounds exactly like the kind of thing I'm gonna really love. So I'm patiently awaiting the official release of that game.
I want to shout out Yacht Club's next game, and that is Mina the Hollower. Got fully funded on Kickstarter, I think last year, and they've already got like a trailer out for it and everything. And it's like they're saying for obviously this year, but that's obviously could change.
Some dumbass fucking drafted it in Fantasy Critic last year because it was apparently supposed to be coming out last year. I love like Yacht Club.
But they take their ass time.
They take their time, and they also laid off half their staff last year. So like, I don't know if Mina the Hollow is coming out anytime soon. But it looks cool, and Shovel Knight was fucking spectacular.
It was. No doubt. Yeah.
So indeed. Spectacular. One of the expansions made it onto a Game of the Year list of mine once. Like, yeah, I remember someone was like, "That's DLC, right?" And I was like, "Yeah."
So what?
Don't care. The Spectre one. I've got the amiibo behind me.
As we haven't had enough punishment already, do we think we'll see Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd this year?
There's DLC.
There's a rumor that it's supposed to be coming in February.
Yeah, I think some retailer said it so, but then I think it was only a couple of months ago we had word from the developer saying it's not coming anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I don't. So yeah, either someone's definitely.
This still exists. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. The concept of DLC for Elden Ring fascinates me because it was always going to get an expansion of some kind. Like all Souls games have, but like the idea of DLC for like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, specifically, which are the ones that I'm most familiar with. It's always been a case of the DLC comes out and it's an expansion to the story and the world and the lore, but like the express purpose of the DLC is to blow out the other end of the difficulty, like meter, bar, curve, whatever. Like it's like super high level, super hardcore, because like the people who are playing this have played the whole game. I mean, like Elden Ring already has that in the game.
Like, they had the Blade of Miquella. Yeah, she said it to us many times.
Yeah, they've got the Halig tree, so it's like you've already blown out the end of the difficulty. With Melania. She's the Blade of Miquella.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see like how are they going to try and top that, because holy shit. Don't do that. Please.
Yeah, please. We beg of you, don't do that again.
Please don't do that. Millennia was the DLC difficulty. So I'm definitely curious to see like what they do for that. But yeah, no, like fuck. I have some trauma-based memories of previous From Software DLCs, like the Orphan in Bloodborne, Slave Knight Gale.
Oi, I've heard tales.
It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, like, does anyone have any more games that they want to shout out? Because I know Moody wanted to do some predictions for 2023.
No, we do not. We don't have to. Trust me. For all we know, Discord will blow up if we do it.
Well, I mean, we've still got plenty of time. Like, it's not a rush. I was just segueing with enough time to talk about predictions. Unless one of your predictions for 2024 is that Discord blows up. Which is pretty dark.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty strong one at this point as well.
You know what? I can see that. I can see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can do like 3 if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have none, so like, I'm just gonna riff off of what you guys say.
I thought you had some dark ones. What?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I can make some predictions. Like, I think there's going to be more layoffs this year than last year, but nobody wants to hear that. The fact that Discord stopped you from hearing that when I said, and I literally said, nobody wants to hear that.
Now they won't.
Well, the thing is, Discord only pauses you two, so in the recording, people hear everything that I say. And I've been kind of turning it into jokes, because that's what I do. But also, then I don't have to edit as much later.
There you go.
Being smart. Being smart. No, what I said was that there's going to be more layoffs this year than last year, but nobody wants to hear that. Oof. And I don't even want to say it.
Oh, jeez, we all know that's
so. Like, I don't want to sit here 12 months from now and go, I got my prediction right.
Yeah, including the ones which happened on Christmas Eve. I think the final total was like over 12.
Even Discord didn't even want you to say the number.
Over 12,000. Yeah. That's more than Vegeta.
Yeah,
was talking
it's
about.
Over 9,000.
In fucking Dragon Ball. Like, yeah, like there's just been so many shitty fucking investments and moves from investors and everything. It's just like, and now the bottom is just falling out. And I just think this year, from that perspective, is going to be worse than last year, and I don't know if I'm emotionally ready to handle that.
Yeah, sadly, yeah, it is. We've all seen it, so we all know. So it sucks for that.
Yeah, it's something we've alluded to. Sorry, Amy, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was going to segue us out.
It's something we've alluded to in the past, just to say that the industry has to have a bit of a shutdown, and it's not tenable in how disposable people are being treated at the moment, and something drastic has to change. And yeah, we'll be in the situation until like people start being held accountable for their decisions.
Yeah, the correct people as well. Like I
Yes, 100%.
I started making a video, which is hopefully coming out by the end of January, about like game credits and like how bad they can be and how bad they have historically been. And it seemed really important in August. And then like obviously like the 4 months happened. And like thousands upon thousands of people have lost their jobs in that time, and I'm just like, is this really that important?
Yeah.
At this point, like, I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, Moody, bring us back to the light, please. Please. Tell me you got something.
Oh yeah, so well, I don't think you're gonna like this one either.
Maybe I'll just quit.
It's your podcast.
Not anymore.
I still stand by to this day that I think Sony will buy Square Enix.
At this point, right, my opposition to that in the past is that Square Enix is too big a company, blah, 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 whatever. At this point, why would they want to buy that shit show of a company?
Why not? Get it cheap.
Yeah, get it cheap with all the blockchains and NFTs and artificial intelligence games.
AI stuff the president was coming out with, not this week.
Yeah.
He had a whole festive period to sit on that. And he decided, you know what, I'm not going to mellow out. I'm going to double down on it.
You know what? I've seen I've seen some of the stuff my predecessor came out with on New Year's Day, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fucking top him. Yeah, let's go.
There's like a power vacuum at the top of the video game industry for like world's worst boss. And this Square Enix president was like, it's my motherfuckers. Step aside.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I could see them buying it, and I mean that's just going to exacerbate all of the problems that we're currently having in the games industry. But I can see it happening. It just seems like such a massive purchase for quite out of character for Sony to do that.
They bought Bungie for like $2 billion.
Yeah, it was one studio though. Well, like
that was for me was out of character. Square Enix screams to me all the time that that's a publisher they would want to own. Because they're basically trying to lock off as much as Square Enix is exclusive to themselves anyway. So it's like, that's how I see it for me personally. Deep down, I hope I'm completely wrong. Like, because like all the bloody layoffs sort of happened just because of that and everything. But yeah, it's like, I'll keep on screaming until it never happens. Maybe so every time I say it, it just never will happen.
Maybe that's how it works. Every time you say it, that means it's not going to happen for another 12 months. In which case, say it every year. Please keep going.
Scream, Moody, scream it!
Yeah. Hopefully Sony sees enough value in just purchasing the exclusivity deals for titles like at least on console, to put aside the thought of, we need to acquire the whole publisher just to...
Well, the thing is, they might need to acquire the whole publisher just to lock down the exclusivity, because, you know, the president of Square Enix was on the stage with Phil not that long ago.
Sure was.
And, you know, all the shit's coming to Xbox now, and it's just like, well, I think Square Enix are realizing, like, they can't subsist on Sony's checks anymore, and it's like, well, we kind of need to sell games here. We need to generate a lot of income, because for some reason all this other stuff that we're doing in this other department is taking a lot of money.
What do you mean blockchain, isn't it? Also, no one understands what the heck it is.
Nobody knows how to make a blockchain game. It's just like, I think that there's a tipping point that's been reached in terms of like Square needs to sell X amount of copies of Final Fantasy 16. And like, well, they're not selling as many as they need because it's only on PlayStation, and I think they're starting to realize that maybe they can get a lot more sales out of Xbox, like, because Xbox's image with Japanese games has turned around completely to where it was 10 years ago.
100%, when they were just releasing limited builds and things like that.
Yeah, and that's why I also think they'll try and purchase them, because they're like, we don't want Xbox having
no, Final Fantasy is ours.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Just Nintendo just comes out of left field and it's just like, actually, dickheads.
Yes.
What I think you'll find is
they were with us to begin with.
They were with us at the start.
They will die with
They're
us.
ours now.
They're coming home.
We're bringing Final Fantasy home.
Can you imagine if the third part of Final Fantasy VII is like Switch exclusive?
Switch 2 exclusive.
Yo, that'd be pretty
We've
cool,
got more power, so now we can run them.
We can run the original. Yes.
We can run Final Fantasy Remake.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is going to graphically look like the original game now.
And they say, we've heard fans say that they want the original look back.
It's one of the only things that fans agree on. We don't want that. No, thank you.
Go on.
A random one. I think we will get another Sony showcase this year. However, this time it will be good.
Okay, that lines up perfectly with one of my predictions, which I think we're going to get a PlayStation showcase this year. Only it's going to be bad.
You're going to say that.
I'm down with that. One of us will be right.
Well, so I think they're going to overcorrect from what happened with the live service one, which is like the backlash. They got backlash for only showing that, but like they're going to have to pull a fucking EA and just be like, cool, we want to show you all these cool single player games, but we've got fucking nothing like that's currently anywhere close to being ready.
I think we just need to hear from, say, 3 studios or so. For example, Sucker Punch with Ghost of Tsushima 2, presumably, or whatever title they've got cooking. What's the next single player thing that nobody's working on? So obviously Factions or the Last of Us multiplayer game. Yes, Factions being dead, and they were talking about, okay, we've got other. What is that? Even if it's just a announcement trailer, just to say, okay, this is the title. Here we go, and it's set in space or whatever happens to. I just think 2 or 3 of those, and it'll be fine. Or you can fill the rest with whatever you need to. But yeah, just I know they scale back in live service games. I still think of the 6 that are supposedly still alive, 3 of them hit the market. And it's one of these where, okay, if you got the rest of the conference to your bread and butter kind of thing, your first party, third person experiences that you have.
Yeah.
Thing is about it, I think the ones that will only hit are the ones that aren't made by their first party. I think the rest, like Helldivers, that's a second party studio doing that one for them. The ones from Square Enix, I think they'll probably try and
stars.
They'll still land, but I think they're first party ones. I think they're finally like we're gonna have a conversation. I don't know when in the next couple of weeks about a topic that I want to talk about the industry and everything. But like, yeah, Sony. I think personally for me, Sony's this year. I think Sony will have an event, and there's no doubt about that. I think it's the only event they'll do this year.
Yeah.
It'll be.
And I think again they'll stay. And I think they'll still be quiet as hell, like they were last year, because they were very quiet last year. Even when they had a lot of stuff come out last year with VR and everything. And I think they'll be even quieter this year because I think they're completely course correcting. And everything, going back to basically what Sean Layden was saying to them. No, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't stop it.
It is interesting. It is interesting that Jim Ryan departed his position not long after everybody kind of went, really? You're going to go down this rabbit hole?
Yeah.
But like that's just speculation on my part.
Stop it.
But
stop it.
Like I feel
That's what they said to Jim Ryan.
I feel like a PlayStation. The thing about PlayStation Showcase is they could show off 3, like you said. Like announcement trailers. They could just do the Todd Howard JPEG shuffle.
Yep.
And I think people, and if it sounds like I'm about to get on a high horse and talk down to people, I think a lot of people will think that's a good showcase.
Baby!
And then I think I'll be sitting on this podcast going, what the fuck are you all talking about? That was terrible.
But the JPEG were really good, Amy.
Yeah, but they were really good JPEGs. So was the fucking Elder Scrolls one.
And they're still waiting for that fucker.
That's in early development. It's coming out fucking 15 years from now. But like the thing is, like, a lot of the games by the biggest studios, like you were talking about Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog there, it's like they didn't come out that long ago. And like it's still going to be at least 2 or 3 years before they're ready for putting out the next game.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like a showcase that shows off that stuff is going to show off that stuff again and then show off that stuff again. I think PlayStation just need to just suck it up, have a quiet year. I'm panning for time because everything's frozen again.
Are you back?
There we go. I'm back. Yeah, I think they just need to suck it up and have a quiet year. But they're not going to do that.
No, I agree with you in the fact that that's what they ought to do. But I think in a year that we don't know what many of the first party titles are working outside of everything that came out of Insomniac and all the rest of it, it's they need to have a quiet year. It's not like third party games aren't selling on the.
Yeah, right. Like people buy PlayStations, they don't just buy fucking Last of Us or whatever. Like they do buy their third party games on there.
Like I know, like things are completely different between Microsoft and like PlayStation when it comes to like what they are targeting and everything like that. But they still outsold Microsoft 3-1 last year when it came to just console sales alone. So like the PlayStation are doing still incredibly well in everything. It's just there's no doubt about it. Like this is going to be like a really weird generation. It seems like it where maybe it's like the AAA, AA indie games that are probably going to come out that are going to be coming out for like the next couple of years. Are going to be the ones that everyone talks about. But the exclusives, like at least from the PlayStation side, I think could be very quiet for a while.
One prediction I have: PlayStation 5 Pro this autumn at the same price as the current PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
for digital only, and then they'll sell like a separate disc drive version for what, like £100 more.
I think just do the same what they did with the reversion of the PlayStation 4, but just have a digital and a disc version, but you can have it separated as well.
Take 2 PlayStation 4s and tape them together.
Yes.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, I think that's
shit.
Sorry. Because isn't it like the rumors of like not the rumors, like the leaks from this Microsoft alone. It's like they're getting a new generation, not a mid-generation upgrade this year as well.
Like a refresh. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it's all digital apparently. So it's like
if the targets for like the next gen consoles that people believe will be like this winter will be like bang in the middle of the generation, so it makes sense that they'd refresh stuff. Now I'm not going to buy any of them, but like more part of people who like want that kind of stuff, but like.
Yeah, it depends on how much value our current systems have and what we'll get for trading and things like that. But I don't think these, or much like PS4 Pro, will be a necessary upgrade. It's not like they're going to be an exclusive title.
I'm at the point with Xbox now where it literally just plays Game Pass games. And games that me and Moody purchase together that Moody doesn't play, like Elden Ring. And like I'm not gonna lie, in 2028, if it's the same crack like 4.5 years from now, when the next one comes out, I'm just gonna ditch it and start playing on my PC. Like because I'm already doing that now. Like I'm playing Prey on Game Pass on my PC. Like I've got Fallout games installed from Game Pass on my PC. Like if my PC could handle like the new release stuff, like I probably wouldn't even bother with booting the damn Xbox up.
Yeah, like if they get their act together and get like Xbox Cloud working, so you just needed your PC to access the video games, as it were, then you're golden, right?
Yeah, like I'm just gonna buy. I'm getting a graphics card soon. Like once I've saved up enough money to get the one that I actually want, instead of just settling for something. And it's like that'll future proof me for the next few years. And then at the next console generation, I'll buy a PS6, and then I'll upgrade my graphics card to the point where I can play Halo or whatever the fuck is coming out on Xbox. And just do that through PC. That's not a problem for them. That's part of their strategy.
The only thing theoretically console-wise I'm buying this year, if it comes out, is the next Nintendo thing. Yeah, like I don't intend to upgrade my PS5 or change my Xbox because if I had a baseline Xbox like that wasn't the Halo edition, I probably would trade it in and go to the whole digital one. Not the S, I would still stick with the X. But
you don't need the disc drive no more.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I've had an Series S for like 2 years now, and it's just like I haven't needed the disc drive because I can get anything from disc on my PlayStation, and anything I play on Xbox is digital anyway because I'm using Game Pass.
Yeah, speaking of Game Pass, the one thing I do wish happens this year is that there's parity with Xbox console and Xbox Game Pass PC in terms of some of the titles. So
that is true, yeah.
Say Party Animals was available on Game Pass on console, but not necessarily on PC, and that was a bit of a weird one. It was like, oh, we want to play Party Animals. Wait, it's not on Game Pass on PC.
No, and it's like, all right, fine. But like, it's such a shoot yourself in the foot moment because it's like you would just in that situation just go, all right, fine, I'll just play something else.
Yeah.
Like you're not forcing me to engage with it on a different platform. It's like I'm just gonna fucking play Fall Guys instead.
Do you remember the summer of Fall Guys? Sorry, go ahead.
Fall Guys. I remember the summer of Fall Guys. Yeah. That's a good summer.
Yeah. There you go.
I interrupted you there, Vitz. You go.
No, the summer of Fall Guys when it came out, and it was a Plus.
I do. Yeah.
When it first launched, and
everybody
was playing it.
I remember. I can remember the podcasts me and Rooney were doing when it came out, and we were keeping an eye on it because like it was doing banger numbers on Twitch.
Yeah.
And we were like, hell yeah, like, fuck Fortnite, fuck Call of Duty. Like, look at this little fucking indie game called Fall Guys Go. Look at how many views it's getting. What's this thing called? Among Us? There you go. Because immediately following Fall Guys, it was Among Us, and we were just like, holy shit, where did this come from?
Yeah. When did this come out? Oh, this came out 2 years ago.
I remember digging through my emails I've got a wordsaboutgames.net email account, and I do remember getting the email for Among Us. When it came out, and I was like, sounds great, never gonna get 10 people together. But
I've got a spicy take now, so
let's hear it.
Phil Spencer will step down and be replaced as the head of Xbox at the end of the year.
Okay, so they've just had a reshuffle where like Sarah Bond has become president of Xbox Games Studio and things like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, sure. I mean, what's left for Phil to achieve at the top of Xbox?
Obviously buying Nintendo. No, I think he's getting ready to move on. I truly believe this. I think he's knackered. I think he's literally knackered. He's sick of all this bullshit of and everything that he's caused himself because he said, I want to buy Activision, I want to go up all these other studios and developers and everything.
Yeah, and it's like, don't worry, the games will be great. And then Starfield comes out and he takes a battering, and Redfall comes out and he takes a battering, and Halo comes out and he takes a battering, and it's just like, god damn, man. Like,
yeah, everything he's done right now is just taking a battering right now, and it's it's truly now to see what is his vision truly going to be, because right now they've got what they wanted. There's no doubt about it. I think they're going to be buying another studio or something like that. I truly believe that. But he's got what he's wanted. He's now all set up. He's got all his little pieces and brought them all together, and he's now ready to throw it out all into Game Pass and see what it is. Game Pass is the thing they're putting all their bets into. And as we are seeing how successfully well it is working out for the film industry, apart from Netflix, basically.
Well, Game Pass is working so well right now because it's Netflix from 10 years ago. It's the only game in town.
But it's not making a profit to what they needed to make a profit, and that's the thing about it. Yeah, they want it to be, and that's the thing about it.
Do you remember, this would have been probably a few years ago, around about the time Game Pass came out, with how cheap it was, there was that discussion of, this is too cheap. Like, eventually, like, something's going to change, like, they're going to raise the price and whatever, and it was just like, I think our response to it was something along the lines of, just don't fucking worry about it right now. Worry about it in the future when it all goes to shit. And then, yar, matey. But, like, right now, just fucking enjoy Game Pass while you can. It is undoubtedly gonna all fall apart at some 100%. Point. They can't keep it at this price, especially not after spending $69 billion on and chuck in all the fucking Call of Duties and Overwatches and all the Blizzard games in it, then like, and it's still going to be $11.99? No,
no,
but
not a chance.
Set yourself.
Because at the end of the day, sorry for going in there.
No,
I
it's fine.
apologize there. At the end of the day, it's now like to see how many people basically come from Call of Duty on the other platforms move over to the Xbox or to PC using their Game Pass platform and everything like that. That's going to be the ultimate liar, because going off from like Starfield, even though it's sold and been played a lot and everything, it doesn't seem like it's really moved the Game Pass needle as high as what they were hoping
it
to
moved
be.
it for a month, right? Like,
yeah, I think it moved for a month, and it's
then
like,
everybody
but
was
it still wasn't a huge gain. Like they wanted like giant gains, and they're not getting them right now. And now Call of Duty, yes, they weren't just buying it for Call of Duty. We all know this, like, but like Call of Duty,
that's their cash cow.
Yeah, Call of Duty is a cash cow either way, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do with it.
The only argument that falls down for Call of Duty is it's still coming to PlayStation for the next 10 years, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, by that point, will the franchise have burnt out by then? Like,
well, it's already, I mean, in terms of players, no, the franchise probably won't have
that's
burnt
what I
out
mean.
by then. In terms of quality, I mean, we've just seen what happened to the reception for the newest Call of Duty. It's already burnt out.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. It's just what I was coming on to, kind of thing. But yeah, it would be interesting to see if the fact that they had to cut that deal with PlayStation in order to get the FTC trial over the line to put Call of Duty on PlayStation for 10 years or so.
Yeah.
How that kind of weakens their stance in terms of they won't be able to pay every single game, let's say X amount, say 300,000 pounds or dollars or whatever it is, to put your game on Game Pass kind of thing. They won't be able to do that because, like Amy said, they spent 69 billion. That's billion with a B, everybody listening at home.
They need about 100 million subscribers. Not 100 million subscribers. How many subscribers? Oh yeah, like they need around 100 million subscribers to make this at least sustainable. For that they're just using that money to basically keep everything going and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's not. I can't see it being sustainable where they'll start to pivot in, and I think cracks are already starting to show in one certain thing, and that's just from the Blade reveal. Like I don't know if it's been revealed or anything like that. If they've actually come out and said it, because I haven't really looked, but they aren't saying if that's exclusive.
No, they did come out and say it at some point.
I
remember saying
after the fact,
After the fact.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, that.
It was a weird way to reveal it, where it's just like, you know it's exclusive, I know it's exclusive, we all fucking know it's exclusive, you dumbasses. Just fucking tell us.
Okay, my apologies.
But I get what you're saying. It was a weird situation. But yeah, it's just like, I don't see how Game Pass is sustainable in the long term, because the core target audience, the people who are going to eat up Game Pass and constantly be subscribed to it, are people like me and you and you. Like, because we want it for all the cool new games. Not like someone who only plays Call of Duty isn't going to subscribe to Game Pass. They're going to buy fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah. That's the thing about it. So the only way the film they have a chance to try and make this sustainable is to see if they can try and get it on PlayStation and Nintendo. And I don't think they're
never going to be able to do that.
No.
And then it's like, cool, we raised the price, so we put ads in it.
Yeah.
At which
point,
play 5 minutes of
at which point you'll start bleeding subscribers, because the second you fucking raise that price too high, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because you've got this cost. It's like, okay, well, if I'm paying X amount of money per year for the subscription, for the convenience of having the subscription and just being able to download whatever that comes out on Xbox. But like at a certain, there's a tipping point at a certain point. Like, because then it's like, well, actually, it'd be cheaper if I just bought the new games that I'm interested in. Because I play a lot of games on Game Pass that I wouldn't otherwise have played because they're on Game Pass. And like, those are the games that I'll cut out straight away. Where it's just like, it's like, you know, like I tried, let's say I tried, I'm just going to have to use a random example because my brain's not functioning correctly, but like Wild Hearts, I tried that last year because I was able to rent it. Like if Wild Hearts had launched on Game Pass, I would have downloaded it and tried it because I was hearing interesting things about it. If I had to spend £70 on it, I would have been like, it's cool. I got Star Wars coming soon. You know what I mean? Like that's how, and Game Pass is compatible with making bazillions amounts of dollars.
And 9 times out of 10, like, and if things go back to like how they were, like say touch wood, like if Boomerang went away for us, like you and me, it was me. I'm just going to like buying a game and then I'm playing that game, completing it if I'm enjoying it, and then I'm going back out trading it in to get as much money off the new game that I want. Just what I mean. That's what I'll just go and do.
To be fair, that's what I do with PlayStation at the moment. So I don't subscribe to PS Plus anymore. Ever since they announced they're jacking the price, thought, okay, the quality of titles you're bringing to the Essentials tier, because I never even messed with.
The premium tier isn't worth messing with. Like the games list, I've looked through the games list, and like most of those games that are on this list are so cheap anyway. It's just like if you have a hankering to play it, there's no point in subscribing to the to that tier. You can just buy the game, and they go on sale all the fucking time anyway.
100%. And I said, okay, so I made that decision back in July, I want to say, or whenever they announced it, and then I said, okay, you've got from July until January, which is when my subscription would have renewed anyway, to prove to me that this service is worth a continued subscriber on, and they just haven't, so I'm not paying for it. And if Xbox goes that same way because they physically afford to put the titles on there because they have a subscriber base, then that service will go as well. And it's like you said, if you really want to play a game, then you'll just have to buy it, and then that sweet spot of discoverability of this game is available on Game Pass. I've heard some decent things about it. Well, good old college try, that will just go away.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's going to be a big problem for those games that are on the cusp.
Yes.
And then discoverability becomes a big issue on Xbox. Like, I'm playing Prey at the moment, but I am fully aware that it's currently on offer for £2.49.
Yes.
Like, if I had wanted to play Prey, I could have bought it for £2.49. Less than the price of Game Pass.
Yes.
Like if Game Pass does go away, or it puts ads in, or it becomes prohibitively expensive, all that's going to happen is my gaming habits are going to shift. I'm not going to start giving Microsoft more money than I should, and my gaming habits are already shifting away from that anyway. So it wouldn't take much at this point to just push me slightly over the edge.
No doubt.
I think PS Plus is a great catalog if you haven't played a lot of the games that are in it.
Yes.
Agreed.
But again, it's not that expensive to buy a lot of these games. And what you pay for with a subscription is the convenience, and we're going to reach a point pretty soon where the cost outweighs the convenience. It's like, I'll just wait. Like, it's like if, say, I didn't have Game Pass, it's like in Prey wasn't on offer and I wanted to play, I just wait until it was on offer. Like,
going back to the olden days.
Yeah, well, so obviously there was a Steam sale and an Epic Games sale, and I had some stuff saved up on Epic Games because they've been doing that thing where you save up money when you buy games and stuff. And I already have access to Outer Wilds on PlayStation because it's on PS Plus. But I also just bought it on Epic Games with the DLC for like £8.
There you go. Okay, 100%.
And it's just like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna do that because I get the DLC, but also am I gonna have PS Plus for very much longer? I don't know. It renews next week, and I'm currently playing Persona 5 Royal, which I own.
Yes,
because I bought it on sale. I just think we need to reclaim ownership of things, I guess, like in a roundabout way to what we've just been talking about, which I'm aware that this conversation
100%.
started with Phil Spencer might leave Xbox. It's like, I think we just need to buy things again.
Yeah, and especially with things like Game Pass and PS Plus to a large extent, that these games, they don't stay on the service forever.
Yeah,
for sure, like the Xbox first party stuff, they'll stay there in perpetuity kind of thing. But for every month we see, okay, these games are coming to the service, there will be a selection which will leave the service, like 2 days to play these. It's like,
yeah, I just got the notification that Persona 4 and 3 are leaving Game Pass, and it's like, shit, like I was going to play Persona 4 at some point this year. Well, I guess I'm not playing it on Game Pass. I'll just fucking have to see where the chips fall on that one. My worry is that, as far as Game Pass goes, that like as they start adding more and more of Activision Blizzard's back catalog, like we're going to see less and less third-party stuff. Like, and they're going to focus way more on their first-party stuff, and that's a mistake.
Because they don't have to pay the likes of Bethesda like the quote-unquote price of putting your game on Game Pass because they own them. So It's a zero cost to them.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a zero-sum game for Game Pass, where it's just like there's only so many games I think that they would want to fit on that service. So the more of their own games that go on there, the less that you'll see other people's games go on there.
Yeah. But well, there's some decent-looking games coming out this year.
To answer your prediction, though, I don't think Phil Spencer is going to leave Xbox. To just go all the way back around.
But I appreciate your spicy takes, nonetheless.
I think the next year or two is very big and important to Microsoft, at least for Xbox.
I think he's going to want to set some wheels in motion. It froze. I was like, damn, Moody's being really respectful and pausing as I started talking, and I was like, no, he didn't. It just cut him off.
Shut up, Moody.
Maybe it's just me pushing a button. It's like, no, I'm talking now. No, I think he's going to want to set some wheels in motion before he leaves. Like, I think he's going to want to leave them on an upswing, which I don't think Xbox are currently on at the moment, just based on the games that they've been released in the last 12 months. Like, Hi-Fi Rush was great and everything, but you can't build a company on Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, especially when you're putting stuff out like, I don't even dunk on like Redfall and Starfield, but even Forza. Forza was so disappointing. And they're releasing new races to do every week, and this week's is in the Aston Creed, which has like 1,200 horsepower or something. It is fundamentally broken to drive, and I was commenting on a few messages. If that car drove like it does in the game, then every single motoring journalist who tried it out would be instantly killed. And it's one of these of how did this get through all the checks and balances to do? Okay, this is, and it just smacks that either they don't care or they're not bothered. Perception is kind of like, we've got your Game Pass subscription and we're just gonna hope that you forget to cancel it.
Well, sadly, that's the thing. What's happened over like the last couple of years on the part of like games are releasing in such a state that they really should be like held off for at least maybe 3 to 6 months. Like there's a few games that were big games and not sadly, like survived because of their IP and everything and their exposure. But they came out, some of them were broken. We're just like, this is not fun. Like these issues that, yes, you are still playable, but you are taken away from the fun. And that's just like, yeah, it's not acceptable. Like what we said at the beginning, like before already in this episode, like, said I survive. It's broken still. And they've said, we're done. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we're moving on. It's like, what do you mean you're moving on? Like,
fix your fucking game.
Fix the damn game.
Yeah.
But no, they have to make the next one. Like they have to make it. It's not even probably. I mean, it's not even the developers' choice. It's we've got to make the next one because we have to hit this release date. Because whatever game Respawn's making next, they've already got a target release date for. Like,
and it needs to hit within a circle fiscal year and all the rest of it.
It needs to hit within this window. Like that's where the problem comes from in terms of like games that are coming out completely broken. It's like you just got to get it out. Redfall just had to come out. Like, you know, they sunk so much money into the development. At a certain point, you just have to push it out there.
Yeah.
Especially when the developers were fingers crossed saying, please cancel this game, please cancel this game.
Oh, Microsoft bought us. Oh, please. But no, they were surprised that the game got such a bad critical reception. I don't know what version of the game they were playing, but it wasn't the release. It wasn't the release client, I can tell you that much. And like, you know, I'm like one of the chillest people, I think, in the talky about game space when it comes to bugs, as Moody will know. Like, I can put up with more than most people. So when I'm coming at you saying, what the fuck did you just release? Like, it's fucked.
I have a near zero tolerance when it comes to bugs. I'm really bad lad.
I imagine Moody has a pretty zero tolerance for beyond bugs just because of his job.
Of course.
Oh, we found some copies before, and it's just like, oh wow, that's amazing. That's like broken, but wow, that's amazing.
That's fun. Like, can we frame this? Can we put it on the fridge?
We haven't framed it, but we're just like, we're gonna keep a video of that.
Like, yeah, it's just like it. when you cross a certain threshold, like with the I know we're probably spoiling a discussion we're going to have in a few weeks, but like when you cross a certain threshold, it becomes unacceptable. Like
Yes.
the reason I can put up with a few bugs and glitches in games that are huge is because they're fucking huge at this point. Like, I'm very sympathetic to the fact that, come on, Discord, not while I'm talking about bugs and glitches. Seriously. While I'm talking about bugs and glitches, come on. But yeah,
You're gonna make it up.
But yeah, no. So like, I'm very, very sympathetic to how complex games are now.
In terms of scope and
in terms of just like how, it's like you can't even see half of the bugs, and I imagine. You know, Moody can attest to the fact that, you know, some bugs, you just have to make a tier list of bugs and how important they are to fix. And I am going to power through this point. I don't care what Discord does. I don't care if it makes any sense to either of you. Like, there are just bugs that you need to fix to make the game work, and there's just things where it's like, you know what, this is just going to have to go out the way it is, and I get that, but a lot of games are crossing that event horizon now, where it's just like, come on, man, seriously? Like, and again, I hold nothing against the people who are making the games in that regard, because they fucking
100%.
know that this game is going out in an unacceptable state. But investors, shareholders, publishers, and the like, I'm gonna power through this point. I swear to God. Will just like who are making the choices to release these games, like, can go fuck off. Like, at a certain point, like, just stop and think about what you're doing to your company. Like, oh, we made 12 billion dollars of like of pre-order bonuses, and we'll fix it later. And it's just like, okay, but you just lost a portion of your customer base forever.
Yeah, 1000%.
And it's not a good time to lose a portion of your customer base, because not everybody has as much money as they used to, and you keep raising the prices of things. Oh no. Like, I'd be interested to know, like, how sales have weathered the $70 price rise.
Yeah.
Like, across the board for every single game that raised this, because obviously, like, some stuff sells no matter what. But like, across the board for I'd love to see the sales numbers of every single game that raised this price is $70 compared to like the previous game that was less.
Yeah. Because like things like Tears of the Kingdom has that star power behind it, so they could get away with it. But
everyone was buying that game. An extra $10 wasn't going to make a difference. But I think of like how many sales did Final Fantasy 16 lose because they raised the price of it? How many sales did X other game lose because they raised the price? And people might not even necessarily have been not buying it because they were protesting. They might have just not bought it because, shit, I can't afford that.
Yeah, 100%. You need to make decisions, right?
Yeah, you got to make choices.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure you got all of that, and it all made perfect sense.
I was going to nod along politely, regardless.
It'll make sense in the final edit.
There you go.
Yeah, I had a prediction about PSVR 2 going to the farm.
Did it not go to the farm on release day? They just haven't spoken about it since.
No, it's on the Vita trajectory right now, where it's like,
okay,
we're gonna
Island.
We're gonna keep bringing it up every now and again. So but like you know, they're just weekend of Bernie.
PlayStation released 12 articles for it last year.
Like, they didn't even give a shit when the damn thing came out. That's the thing. It's like, it's unbelievable how it was pointless for them to make this thing.
The thing is there's some like amazing games for it right now. Like the Resi 4 demo, the thing for VR is probably amazing.
Yeah, I bet it is. I played Resi 7 on the first PSVR. And it was a truly incredible transformative experience. Like, I love VR, but there's no way in hell I'm going to buy another PlayStation VR headset because I've seen how they support it.
not for £500.
Just till it came out, and then I could have got one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then leave.
Like, I would still, if I had my PSVR headset and I knew other people who had VR headsets, I would still to this day be messaging people constantly like, "Do you want to play Star Trek Bridge Crew?" Like that
that with the clap emojis like that.
I don't have a VR headset anymore. That is one of the best games I've ever played in my experiences I've ever had in my entire life is playing that game. I'll rebuy it on Steam when I get if I get like a Meta Quest.
There you go.
But yeah, I guess that's my prediction. Like PSVR 2's done, man. Yeah.
My last one is that Capcom will announce a new remake of Resident Evil 1.
Fuck.
Oh, okay.
I know there's rumors of Code Veronica and Zero, but I'm just like,
I would have said Code Veronica before 1.
We'll go to 1.
You don't do 0?
Hell no. I don't think they want to remember 0 exists. To your point, Moody, you know what? I'd be fine if they remade Resident Evil 1 in the style of 2 and 3. To your point, Vitz, I never want to ever think about Code Veronica ever again.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna at some point make my Resident Evil video, and I'm gonna have to. But I don't know if people who are like clamoring for a remake of Code Veronica remember Code Veronica very well.
It's a game that hasn't aged very well. That's a
in
very
many
fair
ways.
Yeah, I won't lie. I was one of them. And then obviously I saw you played it. I was thinking, oh shit. And it hasn't aged very well whatsoever. There's some parts of that they would need to seriously change.
I played it while I had COVID, and I was just like, and it was my first time ever playing Code Veronica. Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? And why does everyone keep telling me they want another one? Yeah, Moody.
You thought I was going to say Dino Crisis, didn't you?
Honestly, I thought I kind of saw what you were doing. You were setting yourself up for a good joke, and I was like, I wonder what he's going to say. It's not Dino Crisis. Resident Evil 1. I'll take them remaking fucking Umbrella Corps over Code Veronica again. Like, you have to be you have to piss me off to an impressive degree to make me say I'd play Umbrella Corps over Code Veronica.
Yeah.
That's
right. Because I'm surmising we're not going to get a Resi this year.
No,
because they haven't announced it. So
the plan
I guess it's going to be next year. So
the plan of a new Resident Evil every year seems to have fallen off a cliff, and I'm glad it did. To be honest,
yeah. Give the people some breathing room for sure.
Well, yeah, they got like a big start to the year when just in Dragon's Dogma 2 itself, and then they could have something at the end of the fall, and then they start strong, potentially strong next year with
Monster Hunter Wild.
Monster Hunter, yeah.
Ghost Recon on Monster Hunter Wildlands.
Ghost Recon on Monster Hunter Wildlands. Wait, when did Ubisoft get involved in this? This is how Ubisoft come back.
I'm trying to remember when Resident Evil Village came out. Was it 2021?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
2022.
I might see a Resident Evil 9 reveal this year.
Yeah, I can see it.
I've just done some maths between 7 and 8.
Yeah.
And that would be next year, potentially.
Yeah, I think 8's not 9 reveal ain't far. I think if it's not, I think it's at least within the next 18 months. There's no doubt. For me personally.
So like, Resident Evil Village was like a pseudo remake of Resident Evil 4, right? Like, I feel like that's a fair point to that we've made on this podcast before, right?
Yeah.
So here's my question: we all know what happened after Resident Evil 4. Does history repeat itself with Resident Evil 9? Are we going back into the dark years?
No, I think they're gonna. I think it's going to be like more Village.
I mean, do you really leave your boulder punching years behind you?
Imagine if they remake 5.
Well, they have to, right? Like that's the
next one.
That's the trajectory they seem to have set for themselves.
I think they're going to finish at 9, and they're going to probably reboot altogether.
Oh, please do that, because then there's an end to my video.
Yes.
put me out of my misery, coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you know there was a Resident Evil manga?
Was
That'd
that?
be amazing.
That's not a surprise. Actually, that's not a surprise.
I found
That's
this
Japanese
out
company, so yeah, that's not a
researching
surprise,
for a video about Resident Evil history. There's a manga.
What does it cover? Like all the story arcs, like
No,
Wesker
it's just a spin-off. It's just another part of the story where they're shooting a TV show on an island with bikini models and zombies attacking. Claire Redfield's in it, and it's horrible. It's awful.
That sounds like
that all tracks.
Dead Island 1.
Dead Island 1 was better. Unfortunately, I had to read it on my phone because the only physical copies were in German, because I would have loved to have had it as a prop.
Yeah.
This video is going to destroy my psyche and sanity. It's like, I'm going to piece together the lore and history and the timeline of Resident Evil. What could go wrong? Wait, there's a manga? Oh, there's novels? Oh, there's films? Not the Paul W.S. Anderson ones? Oh, Umbrella Corps has a story? Shit. So I guess
maybe Jokovic wearing Ada One's dress in that first film. I'll never know.
Luckily, I don't have to worry about it. I'll tell you what. If you're putting together a timeline of things, right, of a series, right, I'm gonna ask you a serious question that might determine whether I end up in an insane asylum or not. How do you reconcile the fact that there are two different versions of the same game in a timeline of events?
So, okay, I see what you're asking now. Yeah.
Like, Resident Evil 1 happened twice.
Yep.
And those stories aren't compatible with each other.
No, they're not.
So, like, I'm going to have to rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
Yeah, one has to be a dream sequence. then that's what kind of...
Yeah.
So are you guys doing a podcast next week?
No, week after.
Okay, so the week after is when the first game comes out. I was just wondering, do you want to start Open Critic for the first game, which is the...
No, we're doing it when...
Prince of Persia.
On the night, on the chat thing. I think we're just going to have to not have Prince of Persia be a part of Fantasy Critic, just because of the timing of when people are getting together and stuff. But yeah, no, there'll be another episode after this, which is different. I've got a plan for it. Talk to Vitz about it. And then I think we'll be recording the other one. Anyway, that's going to do it for episode 3. Oh, come on. I'm trying to do the outro. You can't even wait for the fucking outro. Discord, you and I are going to have a falling out. That's going to do it for episode 384 of this cursed podcast. God damn it, Discord. You fucking suck. First episode of the year. You couldn't give me that. No. Anyway, does anyone have any words of wisdom that Discord will probably devour in a black hole of nothing? That's it. We're done.
Really, just say bye.
Just say bye.
Just say goodbye.
Bye!